Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest Mother and Dad. Love, Ruth, John, Mark, Pamela, Patricia, and Peter. 1963, Part 139. This is based on the original publication Smallshaw Family Memories Collection, or SFMC number 58, published on January 1st, 2001. Letter from the editor of the SFMC, yours truly, Peter J. Ray. Without further ado, let us get into some of the excerpted highlights, shall we? Here we go. We bought some lovely hemlocks for the back fence. Certainly looks better. Our weather is so gorgeous, we're just relishing every moment. John told me yesterday that I was getting prettier every day. Isn't that nice? Before supper, too, and I'm 39 almost. Mark's Little League baseball team is tied for first place. 1 game to go. We're having 20 of John's family for dinner and supper Sunday. Help, and no cleaning woman. We go to the swimming pool almost every day when John comes home from work. It's been such a quiet summer with Pamela away. Last week I took all the children to Euclid Beach Amusement Park one day and to the aquarium another day. Pamela modeled on the Mike Douglas show Wednesday afternoon on television. It was really something to see her walk out alone in front of all those lights and TV cameras. I feel so lucky to have such lovely daughters and fine sons. Mark has a new football uniform. Gold pants and green jersey and, of course, shoulder pads and helmet. John also got him a new full-size violin, $140. John is certainly proud of all Mark's accomplishments. Patty is just glowing over kindergarten and has lots to report. Tonight I cut Mark and Peter's hair, and then Mark took Peter into the shower with him and they washed their hair. If that wasn't the cutest thing to listen to, John and I just howled. The girls look so cute going off to school in their matching dresses. Did I tell you? Peter still has accidents in his pants. So there you have it. The summer of 1963, and what a summer it was. Pam out to California, Mary Jane Zook visiting, the Rocky River swimming pool at night, entertaining Lakeside, Ohio, the glorious Cleveland Indians baseball team. The fun, it never ended. Best wishes, dear ones. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, June 12, 1963. Dear Mother, so you think I have writing talent. Just look at my daughter and our son. I've often thought of writing a My Sister Eileen story about my life with Marion, but I'm afraid the truth would be too much stranger than fiction. Of course, I never was sure what was truth and what was fiction. John's comment on Pamela's written work, all heart. Hope all is going well with you. I've been wondering what we could do. Patty said she prayed for you. We have an awfully busy schedule here. The children get out of school at noon tomorrow, and I promised to take them out to lunch. Then Mark has his physical checkup at the doctor. I have an auxiliary dinner tomorrow night. John is painting our bedroom, a big job, especially the ceiling. Mark's Little League baseball game was tonight. Ann Duff is bringing her daughter Marion up for a few days to stay. The girls' ballet rehearsal is Saturday and recital Sunday afternoon. We've invited John's folks and Mrs. Vogler. It will be her birthday. We went with her to see Mr. Vogler's grave on Memorial Day. Pam has in her calendar book on the 19th, Pamela's birthday, and don't forget. She was so pleased with the charms. We all liked our nice gifts. Good night. Love, Ruth. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, June 24th, 1963. Dear Mother, I have been looking for a letter from you as to how things are going and how your Pap test came out. I am due to have mine again. I do hope that you have a good doctor and not just one that likes to operate. I'm sure he's good. I wonder if you'd like a new little travel bag to match your luggage to take to the hospital. Or do you need a bed jacket? Could I arrange for you to have some help at home when you come home? I feel that I ought to be able to do something. What would be best? We're having a very busy summer. The children, Mark and Pamela, are taking swimming lessons in the mornings, and Mark goes to the nature center and Pamela dramatics in the afternoons. They are also taking the library books out and will write reviews for 12 books. Of course, Peter and Patty have books too. We went swimming twice today. Also, when John got home, we all went. I had my hair cut by Joe Friday. Have a flip. Wish I'd had it cut before. Bud came. It looks so much better. I've been wearing it up in a twist all winter, but it's getting too long. We went to the inaugural ball Friday night. I wore my orange dress and orange shoes. Sunday night, Anne had a barbecue dinner and had us and the Shelleys, who are leaving for their island in Canada. They, the Shelleys, are having us tomorrow night to see their movies of their trip to the Caribbean. We bought some lovely hemlock trees for the back fence. Certainly looks better. God bless. Good night. Love, John and Ruth, Mark, Pamela, Patty, and Peter. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, June 25th, 1963. Dear Mother, I was so glad to get your letter today, and it is amazing to think this is your first operation. I have a big hole behind my ear and scars all over my face and finger, sans tonsils, etc. Mark has scars on his leg, chin, and chest, and Patty the back of her head, and Peter on his chin. Pam has been lucky, only her tonsils and ears. I'm glad you liked Pam's ballet photo. Patty blinked for hers, so her eyes were shut, and John said I shouldn't buy one. He took some colored photos we'll send. Our weather is so gorgeous, we're just relishing every moment. I got up at 6 o'clock a.m. today and went out and picked roses. They're so lovely now in a variety of shades, yellow, white, pink, and red. And I'm so proud of our lovely new hemlock trees by the back fence. Our neighbors lost 3 big pine trees this past winter, so we needed something. We're enjoying the porch so much. You took my class at Sunday school when I began teaching 20 years ago, last March, 1943. I was 18 years old and I'm 38 now. I taught when I was grade 12 and at normal, and you took my class when I left, but you had not taught before that. We just got home from seeing the Shelleys' movies of their trip to the Caribbean this spring. The Whiteses also were there. I'm glad you had the train trip. John took Mark to California by train when he was 5 years old, and to Disneyland, and promised Pamela the same, but just took them for short train trips. Patty went to Scotty's birthday last fall, Scotty Sanders, a train trip, and the scheduled train trip for nursery school was canceled because the train trip was 3 hours late. No wonder they're going out of business. Our most interesting train trip was London to Paris via train. No wonder the French get into so much trouble. Good night. Good night. Oh, in Tennessee now. The jacket arrived fine and fits Pamela. Love, Ruth. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, July 10th, 1963. Dear Mother, I was wondering how you are and also how Doris is. We were down to Marion, Ohio last week for Aunt Mary Zook's funeral. 8 of Grandma's children were there and a lovely funeral. Such a nice tribute by the minister and lovely flowers, and she looks so nice too. Peter keeps saying, "You forgot to get Pomoni." I was over with Peter and Patty to see Mrs. Diamond today and could have cried. I asked Mr. Diamond if I should come, and he said she was not good company for anyone now, but she said to come any time, that she enjoyed my company. I haven't been over for so long. We've been so busy day and night. She's in a regular hospital bed and looks so sad and in the dining room. I wish they had a bedroom downstairs for her. He said they just have given her a few months to live now. He was up 19 times one night, so had to get another nurse. 2 men are painting our 3rd floor. 2 days removing the paper, $160. John has painted our bedroom ceiling twice and the walls 3 times to get the right shade for me, cantaloupe. But I think that will be the last decorating he will do. It's such a big room. John told me yesterday that I was getting prettier every day. Isn't that nice? Before supper, too, and I'm 39 almost. Mark passed his intermediate swim test. Our Pomoni, Pamela, is out in California. John's Uncle Tommy took her back with him after the funeral. They flew back by jet. They have 5 children and horses. Now they're trying to find someone to bring her home. We've invited one of their children to visit us now. Mark's Little League baseball team is tied for first place, 1 game to go. We're having 20 of John's family for dinner and supper Sunday. Help! Love, Ruth. And no cleaning woman. P.S. John asked Peter his name. I'm Frankie the Keener Wiener. Today Peter said, I'm exhausted. He's so cute. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, July 16th, 1963. Dearest Mother, we feel like we've weathered a storm. Had a farewell party here for Ted, Neville, and Zook, who are leaving for California. Had a noon dinner Sunday for 20 and all here all day, so supper also. The decorators finally finished Mark's room Friday, and John finished our bedroom, but I have no cleaning woman since the spring, since Joan is expecting a baby, so had an awful lot to do. Mark's room is a turquoise shade and bedspreads in turquoise stripes, like my gold and orange tablecloth, and turquoise or aqua nylon tweed carpeting and map drapery material. I haven't made the curtains yet. Our room is in a cantaloupe shade. We got Peter some circus curtains and a lamp of a lion in a cage. Sunday was such a busy day. I was in the kitchen from 8 a.m. until 11 o'clock p.m., except for a few brief spells. Ann White's was so helpful. She loaned me her silver and sent over a big load of daisies. She is having a luncheon Friday for Ginny Schroeder's mother, where you went for dinner, and so I hope to have a dinner here some night for her mother also. John's Grandma Zook and Barb and Bill Smith were up here from Marion, Ohio Sunday. They feel Aunt Mary's loss so. Poor Grandma. We're all missing Pamela, too. Mark's team is tied for first place. I'm trying to get the luggage. Love, John and Ruth. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, July 31st, 1963. Dear Mother and Dad, we've been wondering how you are and if your operation has been scheduled. I tried to get the luggage last spring and they said it should be in soon. I'll try again. When I had the children to the library for books, I read an article in the March Good Housekeeping magazine, I believe, that many operations are not necessary, and that you should have another gynecologist examine you before having a hysterectomy, just to be sure. It might be a good idea. It's a big operation. It's too bad Doris's operation came in the summer to spoil her swimming. We go to the Rocky River public swimming pool almost every day when John gets home from work. Our Pamela is still in California. We got a card from Disneyland that she was having a wonderful time. It's been such a quiet summer with Pamela away. I had a dinner party Saturday night, the Whiteses, Summers, and Schroeders, and Ginny's mother from Kentucky. You had dinner at the Schroeders. Ginny thought Patty looks like you. We registered Peter for nursery school this morning, and I ended up teaching 18 little ones for an hour and a half with no equipment. God bless. Love, John and Ruth, Mark, Pam, Patty, and Peter. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, August 13th, 1963. Dear Mother and Dad, I'm glad to hear from you today and will be anxious to hear how you are on the 27th. The children have been saying their prayers for you. We all have, and hope that it isn't too hard on you. I thought you might like to have these recent photos of Peter and Patty. They certainly are precious to us. John has asked me to go to dinner and the movie Cleopatra on the 19th and to Beaucaires afterwards. Pamela and Mary Jane arrived just fine, 2 little 9-year-old girls. So Mary Jane is spending a month in Ohio with us. Last week I took all the children to Euclid Beach Amusement Park one day and the aquarium another day. Our whole family went swimming almost every day last week when John got home, and Mark, Pamela, and Patty are all taking lessons in the mornings. Mark is in the top class and quite a swimmer. Pamela's diving is improving, but she has had an earache, so I'm calling the doctor tomorrow. Patty can swim now and float on her back and just started diving. Mary Jane and I play tennis while they have lessons. Pamela and Mary Jane went on the boat trip down the Cuyahoga River that Bud enjoyed, and we all went to the zoo Sunday after church. We hope to go to Cedar Point when Pam gets better and also to Marion, Ohio. Aunt Helen, Lacey, and her son Steve and his wife Connie and their son Greg may be visiting us in the next few days. Glad you are enjoying Bud's movies. Thank you for the anniversary card. We're all planning on Lakeside, Ohio, and hope Mary Jane, Zook can stay and go there also. We've been looking for a bed jacket. Can't seem to locate the luggage now. God bless. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pamela, Patty, and Peter. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, August 22nd, 1963. Dearest Mother and Dad, we'll be wondering so much how you are next week. I wonder if you'll have Dad let us know how things go. We'll all have you in our prayers. This has been an eventful week here. Last Saturday we took Mary Jane, who has been with us from California for 2 weeks, down to Sandusky, Ohio, and Cedar Point, visiting all the relatives, Dick and Joan, Dave and Carol, John's folks, and Helen and Fred. We had dinner with the folks, and Sunday took the 4 children to Marion, Ohio, to visit Grandma, Zook, and Aunt Helen. I had taken the children to Euclid Beach, the art museum, the aquarium, and we'd all gone to the zoo, swimming, and tennis. Mary Jane stayed in Marion with Grandma Zook. Monday, for our anniversary, John took me to dinner, the movie Cleopatra and Beaucaires. The children made a huge anniversaire banner, Pamela's spelling, and a corsage for me and a money box for John in which they pooled their resources in case Daddy didn't have enough money for the date. Tuesday, I took Pamela down for a fitting, and Helen and her sons Steve and Connie and their child Gregory came to spend a couple of days with us. Pamela modeled on the Mike Douglas show Wednesday afternoon on television. She wore 2 outfits, and then Mike sang a song to the little girls, 4 of them. It was really something to see her walk out alone in front of all those lights and TV cameras. It's a network show, an hour and a half, and on in San Francisco and Washington. Virginia Graham sat by Pam, and Dodie Goodman was on also. John, Steve, Connie, and Patty were in the front row of the audience. I dressed Pam. They said they'd like to have Patty sometime, but had not her size. The neighbor across the street told them about Pamela. She knows the fashion coordinator. Saturday, Barb and Bill Smith are coming for a couple of days, so I've been busy changing linens and cooking, but it's been nice. Patty said Aunt Helen Lacey reminded her of you. Our minister asked John to go as a representative to the ecumenical meeting in Gates Mills, Ohio the other evening, so I took the children to the Rocky River Day band concert and fireworks. How beautiful over the lake with all the boats lit up in the water. John had taken them to the races. Pamela has had ear trouble from swimming for 2 weeks and is on penicillin. I thought you might like to see a snap of me when I modeled. Wish I had one of Pamela. I'd like John's mother's letter back for Pamela's book. Joan also saw her on TV and thought she did well. Someone said she would get $7.50 for it. ? Next week, Helen and Mary Jane will come back up here and fly back to California from here. We've been invited to 2 parties Labor Day weekend, but are planning to go to Lakeside. Steve and Connie's little boy is 3.5. Greg, just a few months older than Peter, so they had a wild old time together. Mrs. Vogler said that Mark was a big help to her and told her friend that he was a perfect gentleman, and she said, "Why, of course he is, because his father's a perfect gentleman." Tomorrow, Mark takes his big swimming test, many kinds of strokes, and is in a swimming meet Saturday. God bless. We'll pray. Love, John and Ruth, Mark, Pamela, Patty, and Peter. 20689 Beech Cliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, August 31st, 1963. Dearest Mother, it was so good to talk to Bud Tuesday night and last night to find out how you are. We hadn't heard when you were to have your operation, and John thought it was Monday or Tuesday. I wondered if I should go to Regina, but John thought it might just upset you. I'm sure it was a long, hard operation, and I'm glad they fed you intravenously. I had that when Pamela was born, and it seems to help. Bud said you are a very popular gal with all the inquiries about you, and that your sense of humor was wonderful, spreading your operation out over the winter and retelling the details. We hope you do just that. Take it easy all winter, too, to get over it. Maybe you can fly to Florida with us next March to finish recouping. We're leaving for Lakeside, Ohio any moment that I get ready. We've had much company, Helen, Steve, Connie, then Barb and Bill. I will write more later from Lakeside. We do hope you're feeling better and don't overdo, but keep the legs moving. God bless. We all love you. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pamela, Patty, and Peter. 20689 Beech Cliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, September 15th, 1963. Dearest Mother, I was so glad to get Dad's letter and Bud's and yours. We do hope things are coming along better, and so sorry you've had such a rough time of it. We hope the blood transfusions have helped and hope you're eating better. Thank you so much for the lovely birthday slip. So thoughtful of you. The girls, Patty and Pamela, like it so much. They're at such a lovely age. I feel so lucky to have such lovely daughters and fine sons. It's a job getting them all ready for school. So many things they need, but so rewarding to see them going off looking so nice. We've just come back from a perfectly marvelous weekend at Barbara and Bill Smith's in Marion, Ohio. We all had back-to-school colds, so hesitated about going, but it turned out to be a gorgeous weekend, and we went down Friday after school. Grandma Zook is 92, and Bill's mother, who is 79, were there, and we had a lovely dinner. Their home is gorgeous, and we had a fine time and wonderful meals. They had 2 tables of bridge Saturday evening, and one of their neighbors showed the girls a doll made with a replica of Queen Elizabeth's coronation gown and robe. We also visited Grandma Zook. She misses her daughter Mary so much and is concerned about you. We appreciated so much the lovely card you sent about Mary and wanted your address. We were so glad that Dad has been able to visit you so much. If you'd like to have a television set rented in your room or have your hair done in bed when you feel better, do so, and I'll send you a money order. We had a nice letter from Mrs. Nilsson. We're glad her family is doing so well. We brought back some lovely marigolds from Barbara's. I would love you to see their home. Maybe if you're feeling up to it, you can recuperate in Florida with us in March if we go. Good night. Love, Ruth. 20689 Beech Cliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, September 24th, 1963. Dearest Mother and Dad, how very good it was to get your letter, and we're so sorry that it's been such a long siege for you. We do hope that the urinary difficulties are improving and that it will all be worth it. We certainly appreciated Dad's letter and attentiveness to you and all of Bud's letters keeping us up to date and his helpfulness and Doris's. I couldn't help but think how it was when we moved and Bud stayed home from school to help and I barely participated, and now Bud is there too. Hope that you're feeling better also and have some help when you get home. John has sent a letter to Florida to reserve the house for next March. The few weeks preceding Easter, so maybe you'd like to plan your holidays and go down there too. It's nice to look forward to and will make the winter seem shorter. Right now we're having a glorious fall, beautiful weather, and the dogwood leaves turning red. September seems like such a busy month with so many activities starting up and getting the children into their routines and their clothes. Tonight John took Mark to get new earpieces for his eyeglasses. He broke them during a football game. He has a new football uniform, gold pants and green jersey, and of course shoulder pads and helmet. John also got Mark a new full-size violin, $140. I thought he might like to take the cornet and use Bud's, but Bud said Brian is starting. Mark wanted to take violin and is the only one able to take the full size. They tested them for aptitude at school and he will take lessons at school. He is also taking French. John is certainly proud of all his accomplishments. Very few were allowed to take violin and the others a 3/4 size. Patty is just glowing over kindergarten and has lots to report. I wish you could have seen these children for my birthday. Pam had been working so hard all week, mowing the lawn, raking with the leaf raker in the 80-degree sun, selling Christmas cards and Halloween candy, doing everything to earn money. Every day after school, they would go to the drugstore to check the box of candy was still there. Mark decided to buy the same box, so there was a race, so the clerk suggested Mark choose something else. He bought pink bath salts in a jar. He said if any of his friends saw him, he was going to tell them it was Kool-Aid mix, which he thought it was at first. He wanted to know if it went with our yellow bathroom. Pamela bought a lovely card with an orchid, and Patty one with yellow roses, and Patty bought a box of candy that she could, quote, afford. They were just hilarious. They couldn't wait for me to open them, so we had to have the party Thursday and lit the candles at 8:00 a.m. Friday morning. Ann White's brought me a lovely jar of watermelon pickles and a gorgeous bouquet of flowers, golden roses, orange snaps, marigolds, just lovely. Aunt Olive sent an orchid corsage. John took me, or rather Paul Walters, the national president of the United World Federalists, took John and me to a lovely dinner at the Sheraton Cleveland Hotel. About 20 of the National Executive Committee were here for the convention. It was a very stimulating meeting. Saturday, Ann helped me put up my booth at the Kensington School Carnival, so we had that all day. We made $61.20 on my booth. Peter had a pony ride and Pamela won a cake, 4 goldfish, and now we have 6 turtles. Such fun. Saturday evening, we went with John and Ann to the Crystal Ballroom of the Sheraton Hotel to a $20 a couple dinner dance for the retarded adults and children. Also a lovely dinner and dance. I was planning to have a coffee for some of the neighbors tomorrow, but can't seem to get my cleaning done. I spent all yesterday on the kitchen and all today on Mark's room. Thursday, I'm taking Mrs. Ray and Ann on the maternal health tour of homes and to lunch at the Westwood Country Club. Remember last year I wanted you to stay for it? Friday, I'm helping Ann with a rummage sale for the hospital board, and Saturday I work at the Junior Museum. I'm going to have the tea for all the 4th grade mothers and teachers, about 90 in October, so hope I can get a cleaning woman by then. Tonight I cut Mark and Peter's hair, and then Mark took Peter into the shower with him and they washed their hair. If that wasn't the cutest thing to listen to, John and I just howled. Our dear Pamela has been out selling Halloween candy for me. I have 48 boxes to sell for the Nature Center, and she takes the wagon and goes door to door and has sold about 35 boxes. I give her 5 cents a box. She's a real worker. She's worn that navy jacket to school on all the cool days. Patty wears one of the other ones you sent, and Peter the smallest one. Yes, the jacket was small for Mark, but fine for Pamela, and she looks nice in it. She's a wonderful gal. The girls look so cute going off to school in their matching dresses. Thursday, John is going to Oberlin with our minister, Reverend Lynch, as a representative to the ecumenical meeting. They are staying overnight and for the Friday meeting, sharing a motel room with Mr. Lynch. Friday night, John and Mark go to their overnight campout with the Indian guides. I'm teaching kindergarten Sundays now. I take Patty and Peter in my class too. Did I tell you? Peter still has accidents in his pants. I said, Peter, how can I have another baby when you're still wetting your pants? He said, that's all right, Mother. I have 2 pair of pants. He can have the other ones. He'll go for a month okay and then forget. It's been such a lovely summer. I do hope that things come along fine for you. I wish I could have been more help. Take care. Love, John and Ruth, Mark, Pamela, Patty, and Peter. Now there's a short letter that Patricia, Patty, wrote to her grandmother, Ruth's mother. Dear Grandma Smallshaw, I hope you feel better soon. I love you. Love, Patty. Now we have two letters based on the original publication, and the first is from my sister Patricia. Dear Peter, thanks for sending SFMC number 58. Those were happy times in our family. Thanks so much for writing them up and finding the photos. Patricia A. Ray, M.D., Brighton, Massachusetts. Now we have another letter. It's from my father, John S. Ray. Dear Editor, glad to receive and read SFMC number 58. Ruth's life with Marion must have been really something. She describes it as much stranger than fiction. I remember the hemlock trees along the back fence at 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard. They added a lot to the beauty of the yard. Our really amazing round of never-ending activities continues unabated. What a wonderful job your mother did with all the home entertaining. I was touched by the children providing me with a money box in case I didn't have enough money for our anniversary date. Pamela on the Mike Douglas Show. Wow! Another great issue. Thanks. Love, Dad. Well, that concludes today's presentation. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.